Welcome to Gulfstream Park. It is February 26, 2015. Christina Bosanak is joined by Ron Nicoletti, and a warm, slightly muggy day here in southern Florida, but we'll take it.
Oh yeah, we'll take it. It beats what the people are going on with dealing with up north and everything. We've got a fast main track, firm turf course. We have a fantastic carryover in the Rainbow Six. We've got an 11 race card. Starts in race number 6. Just about $293,000 to start the day. So you know it's going to be well over $400,000. And if it doesn't get hit today, I can't imagine what it's going to be Friday and Saturday when we go into our big weekend with the Tipton Swale Stakes. But we also got a carryover today in the Super High Five. $6,400, and Christina and I have told you a lot of times, when there's a carryover in this thing, boy, they bet it, and somehow it always pays, seems to pay $2,000 or $3,000. So it's a great bet. That's the last race. First 5 finishes in order.
Well, before we get to today's card, Ron, you were just talking about the Fasig Tipton, the Swale, and that's going to be shaping up to be a pretty exciting race. And we do have a horse named Daredevil from the Todd Pletcher barn, won the Grade 1 Champagne. Didn't run that well. That's an understatement. In the Breeders' Cup, that was a pretty forgettable effort. Really nice horse. Been seeing him up at Palm Beach Downs. He looks spectacular. He's going to be the heavy favorite, but there's some nice horses in there. Also Super Colossal from the Eddie Pleza barn.
XY Jet.
XY
getting beat a couple of times, so a lot of good horses in there.
And again, Fasig Tipton, sponsor of the Swale. They have a sale here next week, and that's going to be on Wednesday afternoon. That's their 2-year-old in training sale. A lot of nice horses have come out of that sale as well. So
you make another point. We're going to be Dark for Live Racing next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, because of the sale here, as you mentioned, on Wednesday. So we'll get more about that as the day progresses, but we'll have a 4-day race week next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
A lot of fun things happening over the course of this weekend and also the next week. And as Ron said, we'll just keep giving you all those little tidbits and that information throughout the day. But Ron, let's get to today's card, and we do kick off with a $35,000 claiming event. It is a 1/16 on the turf course, and my top selection, and it looks like everybody's top selection, is number 4, and that's Matikit Millie. Last time, a pretty forgettable 10th. She was well beaten that day by a nice field, however. But let's go back and let's have a look, Ron, at that start back on January 25th, and she was a little bit sluggish out of the gate, and you'll see her number 8, and now here she's going to get pinched back, and so she's going to be a few lengths behind the rest of the field, Ron. But that was also a tough competition.
Yeah, it's tough competition.
And
she had to go wide there because of how she came out of the gate in that race, and after returning, that was a 2-month freshening. She was bumped, as we showed. That was $75,000. It's Chad Brown, it's Javier Castellano, but it's also the horse is 1-5.
Yeah, she is 1-5 right now, and if somebody can beat her, maybe the 2?
Yeah, Simple Love makes the second start back from the layoff. Set the pace last time out, weak and late, in what should prove to be a perfect setup for today's race. It looks like she can control the pace on a course that's certainly been favoring speed better than it was at the early part of the meeting. And I see you use the 8-horse in your Wonderfully Wild from Bobby LeBona.
I did. And also second last time, just beaten 3/4 of length. I do think that she fits well in this spot. We look on to the second race on today's card. It is a $30,000 claiming event, 7 furlongs on the main track. We do have a scratch, and it's a significant scratch, number 1, Corner the Market, and kicks off the early pick 4. And Ron, we have a couple of the same horses, although maybe in just a slightly different variation of them. I went with number 5, and that's Winning for Sarah. And now, last time she did have a bit of an issue. She was checked. That was on the turf. She does get back to the main track here. And earlier, late last season, she was running in a stakes company. She was running in the Millions Distaff Preview Day. That's the Sunshine Millions Distaff, and also the Sunshine, the Glass Slipper. That's on Claiming Crown Day. She's basically been running against tougher company.
Yeah, I mean, this is conditioned company. That was against multiple winners, albeit on the turf.
Yeah.
I had the number 1 Corner the Market on top of my ticket. I don't know if you did too.
I did too.
I scratched into number 8 White Legend, 3 for the 4 in the money at 7 furlongs, albeit without a victory. 4 starts, 3 seconds in the third, stretches out, rallied to finishing a fast closing third last time out. I just think think White Legend with the scratch of the number 1 horse, Corner of the Market, might be the logical choice. Got the 5 on the ticket, and I also used number 4, Acquisition, cutting back to 7/8, was very impressive in the slop last time against 2 lifetime competition. Stepping up, turning back, going to run on a fast track today.
I did use number 2, Just Got Out. My concern is with especially with number 1, Corner of the Market, coming out of there, who is going to be showing speed. This is a closer. This number 2, Just Got Out, is going to need some pace to run at. So that's my only concern there. But I think we're going to have to spread a little bit in the second race on the card. We move on to the third race, and it is a 7-furlong main track event, and it is a starter optional claiming test. Claiming tag, $12,500. And my top pick, I went with number 5, and that's Gago. This filly has a win at the distance. Last time, a little bit of a head scratcher, although that was on the turf. But Ron, prior to that, when she was sprinting on the dirt, she was 2 for 2. Now, it is a step up from that, although I still think that I'm asking her just to go back, and I'm hoping that she's going to do what she's already done over the track and
I
circuit.
did not use her, so I'm going to have to go back and look. But I went with the all DeMauro theory, and here that's Steve DeMauro, the trainer, and that's with the 2 Scoop of Sue's dropping into the starter optional claimer after following her $12,500 maiden win in the slop with a second place finish. That was against $35,000 claimers. As I mentioned, the trainer is Steve DeMauro, Luis Saez in the saddle, but I also used the number 6, who you did too, Some Like a Lady, and this one moved to the Steve DeMauro barn, beat a claim after drawing away with authority to defeat $16,000 claimers. Won that race by more than 4 lengths, so I'm going with my all DeMauro exacta.
Your DeMauro double?
My DeMauro double, my DeMauro exacta.
Okay, on to the fourth race on today's card. It is a 6250 claiming event. It is a mile on the main track. We do have one scratch of the number 2. That's CC in red. And Ron, looks like we're in agreement here. Number 6, Alben Dinat, both of our top selection. That for Jamie Ness, hasn't raced since January 4th. Favored that day. It was still a pretty good effort, and in recent times this mare's been pretty consistent. Yeah,
and the move into the Jamie Ness barn, as you mentioned, he's 31% with new claims. Horse has been working well upstate, so coming off the Tampa down to South Florida for a barn that does very well with that move. I used the number 4 Naivia in second and number 5 Sotaria in third.
Ron, where does the speed come from in this race?
Yeah,
that's a mighty fine question. I think that maybe number 1 might be showing some speed in there, and maybe number 7 out Wildcatting, but I think even the outside horse, I don't know. It's kind of, some of these have not really shown speed in recent times. I think that might be the key.
But a race like this, you have to pay attention to the couple of earlier races to see how it's played, because a horse like this, even though he might have shown early speed and backed up, might be able to steal a race there where their main contenders are coming from off the pace.
We look on to the 5th race on today's card. It is a 20,000 maiden claiming event. A mile and a 16th on the turf course. So we do have a scratch, number 9, and that is Bold Runner. And my top pick, we have our top picks run flip-flopped here. I went with number 7, and that's Just Lucky from the Tim Hills barn. Last time, didn't have the cleanest of trips, but he still managed to. He was 4th, but only beaten a half length, and that was. And now we're coming back, but he's been showing, I think, in both of his starts, progress in terms of from a number standpoint, and I'm hoping he takes another step forward here.
Yeah, that was a great race. The race you're talking about was a 4-horse blanket finish. Everybody hit the wire together. I have it on my ticket, but I did go with the 3 Ready Mekki in top. This one is dropping to this $20,000 level. Shipped in from New York last time, recovered from a slow start to finish 3rd. That was against $30,000 maidens, going a mile in the 16th, same distance as today. Dale Romans, Corey Lannery in the saddle. Just Lucky on the ticket too, and I used the number 8 American Gold, stretching out, beating only 2.5 lengths. It's Brendan Walsh. He does an excellent job. Paco Lopez will be in the saddle.
We'll take a short break, folks, and we'll come back and have a look at today's 6th race that kicks off the 20-cent Rainbow 6.
Gulfstream Park is one of Florida's top entertainment destinations, mixing restaurants, clubs, a casino, and international boutique shops with world-class racing. In a lavish, sun-drenched setting with the feel of a Mediterranean village, Gulfstream is a leading year-round entertainment and tourist destination and the home of luxury residences in 2014. The Stronach family, owners of Gulfstream Park, is committed to the sport of thoroughbred racing and the grace, spirit, and generosity of the horse.
The Rainbow 6 is back, and it's better than ever. Now with a 20-cent base wager, it will expand the market for the popular bet. And in addition to doubling the base wager, the percentage return for the winners on the day the jackpot isn't hit increases to 70%, with 30% going to the carryover pool for the next program. Gulfstream Park, you got to be here each and every day.
Welcome back to Gulfstream Park. We're going to have a look at today's sixth race that kicks off the 20-cent Rainbow Six. And Ron, there is a carryover.
There is a big carryover. It's $293,000 or just thereabout. It's going to be well over $400,000 today. They bet 100-something thousand into it yesterday, so I'm expecting maybe even more today because it's getting up there where life-altering chance to win today. It could change your life if you can hit it for, like someone hit it last week for a $4 ticket. So we'll see what happens. Over $292,000 in the pool.
I love our picks in this race, Ron, because if you look up there, we don't have one horse alike in this race. Yeah, exactly. So I think that this is a great race, a very challenging race to kick off the Rainbow. I think you're going to have to use a few. I did go with number 9, and that's Pirate's Vow. My problem with this horse is one: when he runs his best races, he's tough. Right. He's very competitive, and as we've seen last time he came back, he won in the slop, and again, he also won back at Gulfstream Park West. That was sprinting on the turf, and so we know he can win. He doesn't always string them back to back, and he's not, in terms of his consistency, he fires a few. Now, the Canterbury was a tougher race, 3 starts back, but however, he doesn't always run his race. So I took a shot with him. I tried to take a shot with him in here. It might be 4-1, although I see that you went in a different direction.
Yeah, I went with the one Tripsky, and this one is a former stakes winner sprinting on the grass. Now drops to the $20,000 level after facing tougher. And it's only 2 starts in 2014. Marcus Vitale has this 8-year-old gelding training forwardly for the first start in about 11 months. But this horse was a pretty nice one. He used to run, and Marcus Vitale doing a great job. I just thought this horse, if he comes back and he's fit, dropping down, working well, can be the one to beat in there. I believe he's 5-1 on the morning line. He's got the Javier Castellano in the saddle, which helps. I went with the 5 and second. That's Starship Wildcat. Going to wear blinkers. Just got beat ahead last time out of winning at the same level in distance. Steve Dwoskin, Juan Labor in the saddle.
I actually used in number 7, that's Starship Sulu, Kirk Zadie, now in the Kirk Zadie barn, and I think they're going to be showing speed, helped by the scratch, by the way, of number 2, Alpha Slew. And also I threw in the other George Navarro horse, and that is number 10, Fast Time. I think Navarro's got both bases covered. He's got a horse that's got some speed, Pirate's Vow, and he also has a horse that's going to be coming from off the pace to maybe pick up the pieces in number 10, Fast Time. So again, we've got a spread.
Yeah, you got to spread. You got to go deep there. I mean, just by you seeing our selections in there and the different reasoning that we used to come up with them makes you think that you're going to have to go a little deep if you want to bring down that over $300,000 jackpot guarantee.
As I did say, we had a scratch in there, number 2, and also 12-13 from the also eligibles. And Larry Colmus will be on in just a few moments to give us all the updated scratches and changes on today's card.
Yep.
But let's move on to the 7th race. And the 7th race, it is a 1.16 miles on the turf course. It is a starter optional claiming event. A claiming tag, $16,000. We do have a jockey change. Number 4 will be ridden by Luis Contreras. And Ron, if the pick 6 doesn't, the Rainbow 6 doesn't work out for us, we've got the pick 5.
We've got the pick 5 in here. And I want to go back and show you a horse that I put on top, and that's the 2 Purely Boy. And I want to show you the stretch run of this horse. And the reason why I want to show you this horse is as game as they get. We're going to show you this in just a second when it pops up, Purely Boy. You're going to see this is him. He's the number 11 horse in here. And what I wanted to show more than anything else in this race is that he gets up and wins, and he wins again by a head. This is the 3rd consecutive time he wins his race by a head. This is going for his 6th consecutive victory. This is his 5th victory, and this is how he wins every race, and that's what I wanted to point out here. He just gets up, he gets a perfectly timed ride, changing barns today, moved to the Mike Maker barn B to claim, and that is what you call one-game horse.
I keep trying to beat him, and I've been trying to beat him, and not only here in Southern Florida, also at Monmouth Park. I've been trying to beat him. He keeps beating me, and I keep and again. And what have I gone and done again? I put him in second. I have a number 5, and that's Lasso on top. Going to be showing certainly going to be showing speed in here. I'm hoping that he'll be able to get the jump on Purely Boy. And Purely Boy, he does have some speed, or he's shown some in the past. As I said, as you said, that last one he broke from the 11 hole, so he had to work out a trip. Although he shouldn't be that far out of it, but I'm hoping Lasso is going to get to the front and just make him catch him.
I got him on the ticket, and you got to have him too. And you see, I have the number 8 and 3rd. I sent them up the wrong number. That should be the number 9, Best Actor. It's my fault. I put the 8 instead of the 9, so we'll change that later on. Best Actor, the best closer in the field. If things get dicey on the front end, this horse can reap the spoils if that Suicide Duel erupts on the front end. So we'll change my selection in a bit. That was my fault. I typed in number 8 today instead of number 9.
And Best Actor second behind Lasso in that latest start, and going to be piloted by Javier Castellano. But we will move on to the 8th race on today's card, and we do have an allowance optional claiming event, and 6 furlongs on the main track. There's a jockey change. Number 1 will be ridden by Edgar Prado. Joel Rosario Ron will be off. He's off his mounts today, and it seems has a head cold.
Bit of a head cold, and I'm sure he'll be okay, but not riding today. And there's late changes. You got the one Luis Contreras in the last, and this race it is Edgar Prado.
It's Edgar Prado, and we do have the late pick 4 that starts in race 8. And my top selection, it looks like our top selection is number 8, and that's Remarkable Teresa. It looks like she's got some early speed in there. She was second behind Angel Code last time, and I think is very flattered by that form, because Angel Code, very fast filly herself. Let's go back and let's take a look at Remarkable Teresa's latest race run. And again, a little bit, she hopped. If you see her now, she hopped at the start. So they kind of a little bit. They left her behind. She spotted the front. For a speed horse, she spotted them a couple of lengths.
Right.
And here she's in the stretch, finishes second. However, as I said, the filly that's in front, very fast filly.
Yeah, remember that name Angel Code, because Angel Code's running a little later on the card, who I have on top of my selection. So number 8, Remarkable Teresa, I really like this horse today. I think that break that you showed was the main reason the horse did not win that day. I'm expecting to come back. But how about the number 4 horse in here, Crazy Laura, 12-1 on the morning line. This is a winner of 3 consecutive races here during 2013 and 14. Makes her first start since setting the pace and tiring. That was in the 7 furlong, $50,000 starter allowance. It was here. It was December 23rd. Her first race in 11 months. Jose Garofalo, 28% with the 61 to 180 day layoff. If you can get 12-1, I'm going to be betting this horse, but I'm certainly using it in the late pick 4 and on my Rainbow 6 ticket.
I think the horse you have to use in here, number 5, and that's Shogun Samurai. Broke her maiden impressively back in 2013 here at Gulfstream, and she seems to be in the mix. A little bit of a quirky filly, Ron. So I'm very interested to see when she runs her race. I think she's good enough to win. She hasn't. You have to go a long way back, but I do think that you have to include her.
Yeah, and Kelly Breen has it training pretty good. He's 21% with the second start after a layoff, and this is the daughter of her first Samurai. And the workout pattern says this horse is sitting on the top performance.
Yeah, she also has a lot of speed. Seems to be that there's a lot of speed in the 8th race on the card. We move on to the 9th on the day, and it is an allowance optional claiming event, and it is with a claiming tag $75,000. It's a mile on the turf, a couple of scratches, all from the also eligible main track only entrance, 10 through 12. And my top selection in there, your top selection, I think a lot of people's top selection in here is going to be number 8, and that is Isabella Sings. This is a 3-year-old daughter of Eskenderea, trained by Todd Pletcher. Todd Pletcher trained the sire, also trains this filly. She came just a neck of winning the Grade 2 Natalma. That's at Woodbine back in last September, Ron. Latest race, shipped over for the Breeders' Cup, and that was a juvenile fillies turf. No bueno.
Right.
She went onto the sidelines and comes back here, but class-wise, she towers over this field.
Yeah, and what I like is the workout pattern up at Palm Beach Downs of bullet after bullet. And if you go after that thing, you're going to have to put a line through that performance behind Lady Eli in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. I just think she's the one to beat, certainly the class of the field on paper. Number 6, Ice Festival, who we both have in second. A winner here at this distance back in December, turns back, broke from post 11 in its last race, got parked 5 wide on the turn, finished third, was only beaten 1.5 lengths. I just thought that was a really nice performance, going a mile in the 16th to Edgar Prado being the saddle today. Lots of things to like about the number 6 Ice Festival. Is Isabella Sings is not up to the task.
One of the horses I threw in there is, and I know that you went in another direction, I threw in number 1, Save Rock and Roll. I know the connections were high on her early on, and when she did win, although she's trying the turf for the first time, Super Saver, he's not specifically geared towards turf. I think if she takes to it, she will be, I think she's going to be one in the exotics, and I think you're going to get, I'm imagining you're going to get a better price than 6 to 1.
Yeah, and I used the 7 in there, Carta de Oro, who showed promise on the turf of Churchill Downs, then went into the Grade 2 Goldenrod, so they thought she was something, to run in a Grade 2 race. Showed nada. Did not fire. Going back to the turf, Rusty Arnold is the trainer, has the daughter of Medagliadoro training forwardly on the Palm Meadows turf, so working well on the turf up at Palm Meadows.
We're going to move on to the 10th race on today's card, and it is an allowance optional claiming event with a claiming price of $62,500, 6.5 furlongs on the main track. We do have a scratch of the number 2. Ron, it looks like there's a lot of speed signed on in here, or it looks like there's enough speed signed on in here, although both you and I went with number 1, Angel Code. That's the filly we were just talking about. She finished ahead of Remarkable Teresa, who's running earlier on the card, and she's going to have company up front. I do think she's the fastest of the lot, and the way I see her getting getting defeated is if they put too much pressure on her, maybe it sets it up for somebody off the pace.
Yeah, but I like the fact that she's got that inside post position, going 6.5 furlongs. And if she broke from post 8 last time out, she used her speed throughout to defeat entry-level allowance runners. George Navarro has Edgar's eyes handling. What I see is the inside speed, or as you joke all the time, the speed of the speed in the race. And I went to the outside, and so did you with the 10, Quiet Hour. You got it there. We got our bottom 2, Flip Flop. Also got 8, Birdmaker. This is a Grade 2 stakes place daughter of Empire Maker. She can flaunt her class in this spot. First start since finishing 4th. That was in the 7 furlong Grade 3 dogwood at Churchill. Was last September.
Yeah, and I liked her too because I think she does have that closing style that maybe she can pick up the pieces and she'll be running late. You also mentioned number 10, and that's Quiet Hour. Last time she got the pace that she needed, and she closed into it, and she ran a pretty good race. So I think those are a couple of the fillies that maybe if you're gonna catch Angel Code late, one of those might be it.
Yeah, but no way would I single Angel Code in any of the business. For that reason, if someone challenges her early, it sets up for the other horses we were mentioning.
It'll be interesting to see how much the speed carries earlier in the day, and then we'll make that assessment a little bit later. We move on to the final race on today's card, and it is a 12-5 maiden claiming event, 6 furlongs on the main track. Ron, there's a carryover.
Yes, $6,000 plus in the Super High 5, and it's not going to be easy. We got 14 horses in this race with no scratches, no jockey changes, and I went with the number 14 horse in here, not to make it easier.
Yeah.
And that's my money ride. I want to go back and show you this horse's last race. I just thought it was a good performance. Broke from post 12 last time out, and just comes circling the field. I thought it was a game performance from back then. Gets beat by someone in this race, but I just thought off that performance against this level of confidence, she's the number 12. And, she had tough going early on in the race. She was wide. As I mentioned, she broke from the outside post, and here she comes. She gets swooped by the 10 horse in this race, but I thought she ran decently enough to figure very well against these maiden fillies, $12,500 variety. Going to have to deal with post 14 today.
Yes, you will. I went in a different direction. I went with number 9, You Feel This, Cornelius. I think she fits from a numbers perspective. She's also dropping, considerable drop for her. Ron, blinkers off. And in her career debut, she actually ran on the dirt at Parks. she ran a pretty good race, and I'm hoping that she'll get back to her earlier form. Like she was second and just beaten a couple of lengths. Although I think maybe I was going to give her a shot off the drop.
Yeah, I used the 2 Como Luz in second. If you like my money, Ronnie, you sort of got to use the 2 Como Luz, and the 7 Brunel dropping to this level after tracking the pace and weakening to finish fourth. Was the favorite in that race against $16,000 maidens last time out. Randy Prasad as Rajiv Mirage in the saddle, and just on the drop in competition, I thought maybe the 7 Brunel could be there. You see right there, we only have one of our 6 horses that are the same that we gave out. So the Super High 5, as I mentioned, 14 horses in the field. Very tough task, but that means it can pay an awful lot.
Well, also, so going back to what we were saying for the Rainbow Six, it kicks off with a pretty tough race. I think you're going to have the spread in the first leg. I think you've got a spread in the last leg, is what you're telling me. A single would be Isabella Sings.
Isabella Sings, horses like that. Even the race before, the 8 horse in that race, and just the different ways. You got to go a little deeper in there. The 8th race horse, I got to go back and remember the name. It is a Remarkable Teresa, who I thought ran very well. You know, after the trouble she had at the start. So horses like that, if not singling, going 1 or 2 deep in there, and going deep in those 2, and I can guarantee you that anybody can win that last race, today's 11th and final race with a 14-horse field. And if you're alive by then, you should have a big smile on your face.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, we do have a carryover. The Rainbow Six is just a tick under $300,000. Also, as Ron had pointed out, there's a carryover in the Super High 5 in the final race of the afternoon, just over $6,000. And Ron and I will be back today for the rest of this afternoon. Larry Colmus will come on in just a second. Folks, stick around. Great race on tap.
There's a new day dawning in Florida. Never before has a Breeders' Cup Classic winner retired to stud in the Sunshine State. Until now. Adena Springs presents 3-time Grade 1 winner and earner of over $4 million, Fort Larned. New to Adena Springs South.
To blow up out of it.
We are back away from post time as the horses come over for the first race of our 11-race program here on a Thursday. It's just about time for the opener at Gulfstream Park. Hello, everybody. I'm track announcer Larry Colmus. Welcome to Gulfstream Park. Welcome to all of you watching our races today. We do have an 11-race card on tap for this afternoon, and we do have 3 allowance races headlining the action and the Rainbow Six carryover almost at $300,000. Let's take a look at the conditions and the changes for Thursday's card. Fast and firm, mid-80s, cloudy skies, pretty strong winds coming from the southwest today at 20 miles per hour. The first race is at 1 o'clock. Now today's changes. The first race has no changes. In the second race, scratch 1, corner the market. Number 1 is out of race 2. In the third race today, number 1, Solfatara, 2 pounds over. Scratch the 7, Diamante Jack. Number 7 is out of today's third. On to the fourth. Race 4, scratch 2, CC in red. Number 2 is out of the fourth race. In today's fifth race, scratch 9, Bold Runner. Number 9 is out of race 5. The sixth race kicks off the Rainbow Six. $292,943 in the carryover.